Welcome to another episode of Don't Let It Stew. Today I have Zack Peter in the house. You know, he's my regular guest, like, 3 times a month when I can't find anybody. I'm just kidding, Zack. I love you. I went to London. I was like to Zack, I said, you have to come on because I went to see Taylor Swift again in London. So you need to come on and make fun of me. So he's the perfect person. So hello.
Hello. It feels good to be back. I'm your honorary chump.
Oh, that's really funny. So I went to London. I'll just talk a bit about that right now. I'm just going to get something off my chest.
Do it.
It was a last minute trip. My friend wanted to go to London and I was like, well, look, Taylor Swift is playing as well. Wouldn't that be kind of cool if we saw her as well? So booked the flight. It wasn't expensive and I was able to get first class there and then kind of like Comfort Plus back, right? Or like Premium Select back. Not bad at all. I left on Tuesday, arrived in on Wednesday. Anyway, we're there. I know like 3 or 4 other gays are like on the plane. I'm like, are y'all going to see Taylor? They're like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So we do that. I wake up as we're landing in London and they serve you breakfast. Now, people always ask me.
Who served you breakfast?
The
Swifties?
No, the air hostess, stewardesses, whatever.
Got it. Oh, because you were on the plane. They gave you breakfast.
I was on the plane and I was on Virgin Atlantic. So they serve you like an English breakfast as you land, right? Lovely. Like really like that. It's great. The food comes. First of all, I order like the bacon sandwich, and then they're like, we're actually out of the bacon sandwich. I was like, okay. I said, can I see the menu? Like, I'll choose something else. I said, okay, like I'll get English breakfast. They bring the breakfast. I wanted it with like orange juice or whatever, coffee. Coffee was cold. Breakfast was freezing. It was apple juice. I was like, okay. I'm like, it's fine. And I was like, can I get some toast with that? They're like, we don't have toast. I'm like, you're serving an English breakfast with no toast?
Oh, so now you were being like, Karen.
Now I'm just like, wait. I'm like, you think that's kind of weird though? She's like,
no.
Yeah, I know. I was like, yeah. I said, well, can you get some like olive rolls that you served earlier on? I said, I just any type of bread.
Oh, you just went into full Blake Lively mode.
Yeah. No, but she was like, okay, I can try. I'm like,
I can try.
Just like, yeah, it's like the tickets are expensive for upper class. Like it's called upper class. It's not even called first class, which is like really kind of obnoxious. But so she goes and whatever, and she's like, oh, I found 2 of the rolls from the bacon sandwich. I'm like, but I thought you didn't have the bacon sandwich. No, we have the bread. We just don't have the bacon. But I was able to find 1 piece of bacon and put it on your plate. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like,
what did she just take this off of one of the other?
I have no idea. I have no idea. This was like comical to me. And like, my friend Alex was beside me and he was like, look, and of course he's eating the bacon sandwich. I'm like, give me the fucking bacon sandwich. Like, you don't need it. And so that's fine. I'm like, okay. But anyway, it didn't matter because the whole thing was cold. So I was like, and she was kind of being like, I just don't want to deal with you, which I can understand. But like, I've slept. I'm waking up. I'm kind of like tired. I'm like, I'm starving, right? There's this other woman, air hostess, and she's really nice. We were like cracking jokes with each other as we got on the plane. Like I loved her. So I was like, she'll deal with me. She'll be cool. I'm like, hey, I don't want to be a pain in the ass. I said, this is not the best. I said, it's freezing. I said, is there any way you could just bring me a fresh one? Just like piping hot. Like I burn my tongue. Like I don't care. And so she brings me a new one. And like just takes the plate, but leaves like the cornflakes that are already soggy now. It just is like, just take everything away and bring it back just really nice for me. That's it.
Okay.
Like I'm not an economy. Like, you know what I mean? It's like those it's expensive. You know what? Like first class is expensive.
Listen, you don't want something about her sandwich experience. No. You want top tier.
That's what it felt like. We're going to talk about that later too. But so she comes back down. And I'm like, no bread. I was like, oh, she had the bacon thing. And I said, can I get some milk as well and some sugar? Like just disconjointed. Right? I was like, just put everything on one tray and just put it in front of me and like slap me across the face. I don't care. So she brings the bread and I'm like to Alex, I'm like, it's fucking freezing. Like it's freezing again. But I said, I can't complain anymore.
Well, no, you've already complained like 80 times.
Yeah.
So I took the bread. Hated you.
No, totally. But she was kind of laughing with me and stuff like that. So I get the bread, I cut up the sausage on the plate, the one little tiny piece of bacon there, and I kind of put it in like the sandwich. I eat it. It's like I make myself like a little breakfast sandwich. So I nearly got what I wanted at the end of the day. She comes on, she's like, oh, was it not good? I said, look, it's just not very good overall. I said, it looks like shit in the plane. I'll post a photograph on like YouTube if you're watching it. You'll see it. It looks gross. And I said, it's fine. It said, I made a sandwich. I'm happy out. I'm going to see Taylor Swift on Friday. It's all good. So then like the cursor comes down, like the head of the plane, whatever, the woman, she's like, I'm so sorry about your breakfast. And can you hear me? Is everything
Sorry,
good?
no, something came up. It said recording error, but then it just went away.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, no, it's fixed.
So so the cursor comes down from the plane. She's like, I'm so sorry about your breakfast. I said, no, it's fine. Like, I mid-do, like, it's all good. And she's like, no, but you are right. It's not very good. And I agree with you there. So it's like, it's just, she's like, we need to talk about this with them. I said, look, it's just for what people are paying this Friday. It should be just this beautiful breakfast. That's it. I know we're like 35,000 feet in the air, but you know, I said, that's it. I said, look, I'm a chef. I said, I'm fucking probably more picky than other people, but you know, I'm letting you know.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, and she was so sweet. She's like, whatever. She's like, are you making friendship bracelets? I said, no, they kept falling apart. They were breaking. I said, there's beads all over this fucking plane. So that was it. She was laughing. It was fine. Like, I wasn't being a total bitch or anything like that, but it was like kind of shocking. Do you have anything that was pissing you off this week, or you want to get off your chest? I'm sure there is.
Oh, you know what's really funny? I actually decided, you know what? I'm gonna go on the dating apps and like start to put myself out there, whatever. So I go on because now we've finished the season of Disaster Daters, so I have nowhere else to tell my disaster dating stories. So in my profile, though, like you know, one of the things that I say, oh, I'm a spiritual gangster, and so that really just means like I'm spiritual. I believe in manifestation, all that shit, right? But I can also pop off on a bitch, and I have a dirty mouth. That's really what I mean by spiritual gangster. And so my mouth gets me in trouble too much.
I mean, it does.
But so then this guy lands who like has like a bunny. He's like holding a rabbit or a puppy in his profile picture, which I didn't even realize.
First of all, we're out. Like, as soon as that, I see that, like, what did you, okay, continue. Sorry.
I didn't swipe right, Stu. I don't know how he was able to message me without me swiping right.
Okay, I agree with you there, because I remember back in the day, I'd be on the apps and like, no, it was like, it wasn't Hinge, it was like the other one. And you like, whatever.
Tinder,
yes. And it was like when it first came out.
Yeah.
And people would message me and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I didn't swipe right on that.
Yes. And so I didn't swipe right. And it is apparently a thing. I think it's like you have you can do like a super like or something where you can also like send a message. I don't know. It's a weird thing. And it looks like he had to pay for this special feature where he could message me before matching with me. Right. So then as I'm swiping through, I see his profile and then it says that here's a message for you. And I was like, okay. And the message is like on his profile. The message says, you're a spiritual gangster that eats animals. Feeding on the deceased is not a spiritual practice, homie. Rethink it. First of all, he's too white to be saying homie. And second of all, that's what he wasted his super like on.
Like, he probably paid $2.99 for that.
I was like, you wasted what to insult me and get mad at me for eating animals? I like eating animals and I will continue. So I was like, you know what? I wonder if he actually did match with me. And so I was like, I'm going to swipe right just so that I can respond to him. And so I swipe right. And sure enough, we end up matching. And I was like, that's random that he hates that I'm spiritual gangster that eats animals. And he does not like that. So then I just simply respond.
You have 2 dogs. I mean, Jesus.
I mean, thank you. Thank you. Defend me to PETA. And so I just respond. I said, and guess what? I also drink. I'm the worst kind of spiritual gangster.
Oh my God.
And then he responds. Okay. His response to me, Stu, was, well, because now we've matched, and so now we have a correspondence, and his response was, well, you look very healthy and very sexy, but if you're truly into spirituality, I'd rethink eating animals. Stick to cramming cock and ass in your face. Replace weed for alcohol. Now that's a gangster.
Like, stop eating animals. Like, who's doing that? Like, is that like a metaphor or something? I don't understand.
No, he's just like very pro-vegan. And I'm just like, what does it
Got
matter
it.
if
Okay.
like, I like to eat animals. I very much enjoy it. He's the one that's stealing all the food from the animals because he's eating all the damn plants that they should be eating. So I wonder how he feels about animals that eat other animals. Is he upset about them? Is that he's gonna file a complaint against PETA for lions that eat prey?
I mean, you could go just keep going down a rabbit hole with that,
I
right?
wanna
It's
eat a
just
fucking animal right in front of him. I wanna go on a date
okay.
with him and order a giant grass-fed steak burger.
I don't think that's gonna happen though.
No,
So
I blocked him after that. I was like, "I'm not even responding to this." I was like, "Okay, I had my fun. I'm done."
it's so stupid. Jesus Christ. It's just like what? Okay.
So my
I was
rant
texting.
so what I hate are
Go
vegans.
ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And they will always let you know that they are.
They will always tell you that they're vegan, just like sober people. Everybody wants to be sober now, and they don't want to shut up about being sober and how they don't drink and how they like to drink non-alcoholic seltzers. It's like you're drinking a Perrier, okay? That's not
Yeah.
a
It's a
non-alcoholic
period.
seltzer. It's a fucking Perrier, okay? Stop
Oh my
acting
God.
like you're, better than everybody because you like to drink flavored water. Okay?
It always kind of feels that way, doesn't it? Sometimes. Okay. So I was texting you over the
Yeah.
weekend. I saw you pop off on something, and I was
Did
like,
I?
okay, I'm
What did I say
well, you
now?
popped up. Yeah.
I'm always saying something, damn it.
And I think everybody, whoever's listening to this podcast, like, what the fuck is Demure? Like, I just hear
Oh
it everywhere.
god.
And I was in London, so like, I was like, I'm not even getting into this. I'm enjoying my trip.
Yeah, so Demure, it's the lady on TikTok. It's funny because I even saw Heather McDonald over the weekend. She's like, I have to tape my show on Monday, and can the Demure
Yeah,
thing
I
be
saw
done by
that.
then? She's like, I don't want to do like I don't want to research the lady that created it. She's like, can we just be done with Demure by Monday? Because I don't want to talk about it on my podcast. And it's true. I'm over Demure because even like J Lo was doing the Demure trend, and so it's this lady on TikTok who would go on
I
and
did
like
see it this morning.
yeah, it was like she had like a shtick where she's just like, "Look at me. I don't put on a lot of makeup when I go to work. Very demure, very mindful, very classy." So now everyone's doing, "Oh, look at me. I do this. It's very demure, very mindful, very classy." And I don't
Kind
know
of a
about
dumb
you, Stu.
trend.
I don't want to fucking be demure. I don't want to be mindful. And sometimes I don't care about being classy. Like what I do sometimes do is want to wake up and like be chaotic and like make life exciting. But demure
Yeah.
is not something that I will ever identify
Is
as.
it kind of like toned down? Like I'm demure, I'm toned down, I'm
I
classy. Like what is it
guess.
like that?
Yeah.
Definitely not
It's kind
me.
of like a reserved. I'm more modest. I'm,
Like
not overdone. It's like,
like
nah.
Heather Dubrow would be demure.
What?
Heather Dubrow would be demure.
No,
Like an
Heather
example.
well, no, Heather there's nothing toned down. Heather Dubrow is so extra. But it's just like
Got it.
meek, shy, toned down. Heather Dubrow is very extra.
That's not us.
But it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's like
No.
very that's why she's like, when I go to work, you see, I don't wear a lot of makeup. I'm very demure. I'm very mindful. And so that's what the demure is. And so now people are saying we went from brat summer to demure. And I'm
Oh my.
not a fan of either.
What would you like to talk about next? Do you want to talk about the Taylor concert, how I got along with that, or do you want to go to Orange County, or we save that? I mean, I'm just jumping around here.
Well,
I guess we do
God
London,
forbid
right?
I
We just get
ask,
it out
how
of the
was
way.
Taylor?
I think
Was
it was
it
incredible. Like it was incredible
really like
again.
the first time ever?
The first time, it's always. Here's the thing.
What is
Like,
this, like the
got
12th fucking time you've seen Taylor? How many times do you need
no,
to see her shake it off?
we're done.
You
We're done.
said that
This
last
is the
time.
third time.
I feel
No,
like
it's
this is
actually
me having a conversation with you about your ex and being like, "You're done. Like, we cannot keep
yeah,
going back to this. We cannot
true,
repeat this
true.
cycle."
So third time, Shane really wanted to go. My friend from Ireland, he flew over, took days off from his businesses. I flew in, all that kind of stuff. I got there with my friend Alex, who's a major, major Swiftie. He's on TikTok. Like you think I'm a Swiftie? No, that's like an actual truth. He has 100,000 followers on TikTok talking about it. He's seen her like probably 24 times.
Why?
No joke. He goes for the secret songs. He's there tonight. She's probably going to drop
What is
Reputation
the
tonight.
secret sounds?
She plays 4 secret songs every night. So every concert's different. So people get really excited after the Torture Poets Department set. She goes on the piano, she does a mashup of 2 songs, and then she gets on the guitar, she sings a mashup of 2 other songs. Now, the other night she
They're
sang I Did
secret
Something Bad.
songs?
Well, they're just like
What makes
surprise
them a
songs.
secret if she's performing them in front of a fucking arena?
No, they're like, you don't know what's coming next. Like it's like the surprise songs, I guess they call them. So she sang, and we were all there, right? And so everybody's waiting for her to drop Reputation, Taylor's version, the re-record of that album. And like, we're there, the fucking stadium lights up in green and people lose their shit.
Why?
So she'll drop these little kind of like hints, like it's coming. And then the next day she played like a song called I Did Something Bad from the Reputation album, which apparently, now I got all this information from Alex, like I don't know this shit. So when she sang I Did Something Bad, that was the last song, secret song or surprise song that she sang from Reputation. So she's completed all the songs from the tour. So now they're thinking she's going to announce it tonight, like Reputation is coming in like a few weeks.
Got it.
So people getting super excited about that kind of aspect of it as well. We got off the tube. Now, Wembley Stadium holds 90,000 people. Like 90, like I think SoFi is like 70, right?
Okay.
It's the second biggest venue in Europe. So it was cool to see it. I hadn't been to London since I was like 9 years of age. It was awesome to like see London now as an adult. I had the best time. Like it was so worth going. Like just seeing the city, traveling around, getting on the tube, in and off. It's like an incredible system. So we're walking now, they call it like Wembley Way, and you're walking towards the stadium and there's just a sea of people. And this is at like 4:30 in the afternoon. She comes on at like 7. There's a bar to our right, and I'm like, let's go in here and have a drink. Like it's just right outside the stadium. Yeah. And they're blasting like Taylor Swift songs with videos on the screens. Like it's such a vibe where it's like, just that alone is so like, they just love her so much. It's just insane. That was different for me to see the Wembley thing. It is insane. Like to go once, I totally recommend it. Like it's insane, the fandom. Okay. Like it's cool.
So did she make the announcement that she's doing Reputation?
No, it'll probably happen in a few hours. Because tonight's the last night. So Tuesday, got it. Tonight's the last night of the London. She closes European tour tonight. So she's going to announce it tonight. I think she is. But guess what happened? So I bought the tickets.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
So pissed. I'm so pissed. I bought the tickets, and it's like I'm on front row, like front standing right to the stage. Mm-hmm. And then there's front standing left. In Ireland, I was left. Wembley, I was right. Got it. Got the tickets. They were like $1,200 each. It's like so expensive. And Alex texts me. He's like, hey, I can get 2 tickets on the left so we can all be together. He's like, they're free. I can just send them to you. I'm like, what? I'm like, you're sending me free tickets? And I already spent $1,200. I was like, why didn't we know this like fucking weeks ago? But obviously we don't know. He just got them. A friend of his was like, I can't go. I'll send them to you. You can get whatever. He sends them to me. We're now on the left. We're not all together because he waited all day to get to the barricade. And I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm just turning up at 5:00 and that's it. I was going around like a crazy person on the floor, on the left, front standing, asking these girls, hey, do you have 2 friends that want to go to Taylor Swift tonight? Because I got 2 tickets and I'll just send them to you. I said, I'm not getting into trying selling them. If they want to throw me $100, I don't care. But I said, they don't have to give me anything. I said, find 2 friends that want to go. I can send them the tickets, whatever. I asked, no joke, 10 different people to reach out to their friends. Everybody's on their phones. I'm like, whoever like gets it first, like I'm sending the tickets. They cannot find one person that wants to go to get there in time. Not one person. 2 amazing, and they're VIP tickets as well. VIP, right? You get like this box and poster and all this kind of stuff. They cannot find one person. So I'm like, to this guy, I'm like, what do I do? He's like, there's an app you can sell the tickets on. And I'm like, well, yeah, I tried to do it on StubHub, but they knocked me off. They said it was expired, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, it's like face value. So you'll probably sell them for like £100 each. I'm like, great. I don't care. So I went on to it. Someone picked them up in like 5 minutes. So I got like, so out of the 2,400, I got like $200.
Wow.
Which was fine. I don't care. Like, but I just think it's insane. Like, I wish I could have like sent them to anybody that like would have loved to have gone. Maybe there was 2 people that couldn't go in Vienna when they canceled. Like, you know what I mean? It would have been amazing, like just to like see someone just so excited and happy, you know, to get like 2 free tickets. Yeah. But whatever. I tried.
Well,
isn't that crazy?
You made $200.
Oh God, I know. Let's get into Orange County because I want to talk about it.
Okay.
And what do you think? How do you think it's going so far? Alexis is fucking crazy. That's what I have discovered.
Yeah, and the way that, like,
I don't understand it.
the way that she's, like, going and doing podcasts, like, I saw that she was on Carlos King and, like, she's doing
Okay.
podcast interviews, and she, like, going into the season was feeling very confident that she was gonna be vindicated by the end of it, but, like, the more we get into it, the more I'm like, "This is, like, crazy." Like, this is insane, and it's not making Alexis look good by any means.
No, what I see, because I think I did it myself when I was in a relationship once. Um, I feel like there's a lot of defending of him.
Yeah.
And I feel like when there's so much defending of someone, like it can't be good. Like there's something missing.
Yeah, I think her thing is like, "Oh, well, I'm defending him because there's somebody that's, like, intentionally trying to take him down." But it's like, no,
She's not really.
she like, if any yeah, Shannon has always kind of been pretty protective of John,
Yeah,
which is interesting, and, like, I don't know, him suing her for the for $75,000 while they're doing this on the show, and then Alexis having the wire transfers, like, it's all so and her being like, "I can ruin her life." Like, it's all just
yeah.
so it's not making Alexis look good at all.
No, I think it's so gross that like she's saying like, yeah, he has cameras inside and out. I'm like, yeah, I want to see those cameras outside before she got in that car because I'm sure it doesn't look pretty on his end either.
No.
Like I'm sure he's shouting at her. I'm sure. Well, I don't know. Allegedly, I mean, whatever. But like, I'm sure there is an argument going on.
Yeah.
Like before she gets in the car or whatever it is. But I think it is like that's like leave her the fuck alone. He's suing her for 75K. Now Alexis is going after her. Like I'm going to call it now. It's going to end badly for Alexis. It is. It's going to be exactly the same as the way it ended for Shannon. I believe Shannon.
Yeah.
You know.
I believe Shannon too. I think
Uh huh.
I mean, the biggest red flag is how much love bombing is going on so early into the relationship.
Yes.
Buying the expensive ring, going so public on
Yes.
social media. Like anybody that's like that public on social media that early on, red flag. Red flag.
Yeah.
Like just major red flag because it's just like
I mean, I want to say the N word, but I'm not going to say the N word. But I think if everybody
don't
knows
you
what I'm
should
talking
never
about.
say the N word, Stu.
Well, it's not that N word. Stop.
um
Um,
So yeah, I don't think it's gonna end well. It's not. It's not gonna end well for Alexis. It's not gonna end well for
no, I think what's going to happen is I'm really like I'm always been on like Team Shannon and stuff, but like you're really going to see like Shannon come out of this on top.
yeah.
Like I think by the end, I really do because she deserves it. You know what I mean? And I just think like the way the karma thing goes, the universe goes, like she's going to like get her day. You know what I mean? And it's going to be amazing. And
She's
she's going to
already
meet like the
getting
man.
it. I mean, she
Yeah,
looks
she is. She looks
incredible.
great.
The
Yeah,
audience is on her side. Like this is her best season
yeah.
yet.
I mean, the way Tamara's going on about her, like, I just hate that so much. It's just so aggressive
It's
and like
too aggressive.
mean.
Like I
Yeah.
understand. I feel like Tamara thinks she's coming from a good place and like genuinely cares about Shannon and is frustrated with Shannon, but at the same time, when your friend is going through that, I just think like that's when, you can show a little tough love, but like your tough love is to take space, not to like, once you realize you're talking to a brick wall and they're not going to listen to you, you kind of just have to let them be. And if they're going to create their own demise, you have to let them
Yeah.
do that on their own. You can't
Sure. Yeah.
stop that by, yelling at them because that's not going to get them to listen. And you don't
No,
want to kick them while
it
they're
was
down
hard to
either.
watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just says it was kind of like, oh, I'm like, this is really uncomfortable. I love Emily. I love that she eats in the car. I love that she's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like just eating, like chowing down. Like I love her for that. Like she's really grown to be one of my favorites on the show. Like she's fantastic.
I feel like she's becoming a little too gimmicky this season where like she's like trying to have so many of these like moments on the show, but she is funny and I like her better than
Yeah.
Gina for sure.
Yeah. Or when they go to the house and like when they go to the house and they're just spilling shit everywhere in the rental, or she's trying to sell the house, right? Gina is,
Yeah.
and she's like, I can't even look at it. Like when she spills like all like the Bloody Mary all over the ground or
Oh
whatever,
my
she's
God.
shaking a cocktail. It was the funniest.
Just ridiculous.
Heather and Gina.
Did you like
Like,
did you like Elizabeth Vargas making a comeback?
I mean, that made my day.
Wait, can I
That
tell
literally made
you?
my day.
Last year for my
Like
birthday.
Jojo Siwa.
No, Jojo Siwa. Grown up Jojo Siwa.
Yeah.
For my birthday last year, Elizabeth Vargas, I asked her to give some vodka for my show at the Bourbon Room, and she was
Yeah.
like, "Yes, of course." She gave me all this Vargas vodka, and then she gave me like 4 bottles. She's like, "And this one's like just for you." And it was literally like a couple bottles, maybe it was 4 bottles. It may have been like 2 or 4 bottles of Vargas vodka in a
Didn't even know
Chanel
there was a vodka.
handbag, Stu, like a full-on Chanel handbag. And
That you got to keep, like a
yes,
real handbag.
yes.
Do you wear it?
No, I gave it to my mom, but like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
well, yeah, but like, I was like, "Excuse me?" Like, you're just like,
That's
like, no,
awesome.
some people give you something in like a tote bag,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like a market bag. No, this was
It's
literally
like an Hermes.
a fucking Chanel handbag, and she's just like, "Here you go." I was like, "Well,
Some
okay."
people just know how to package things right.
Or
You know
some
what I mean?
people
Some
are
people are
just
just
that
really good at
fucking
it.
rich that they have a disposable Chanel.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. She probably was like, I really want to get rid of that. Do you know what? I'm just going to put bottles of vodka in it.
Yeah. Probably got a new one.
I'm having an issue with this, and I need you to I'm having an issue with this. I need you to clear it up. The Heather, Gina, and Katie thing.
Mhm.
Like, who's actually in the wrong here? Like, is it Katie for bringing it up in the first place around the table at the Coyote Ugly Bar or whatever when they got up and danced?
About
Yeah,
the
paparazzi thing.
yeah. I mean, I think Katie believes that Heather called the paparazzi. And I think Heather maybe I think we're
Katie believes that Heather called the paparazzi,
correct.
you mean?
I think this is
Okay.
all falling in like technicalities, right? So I think
Yeah.
what happened was Heather was going through some bad press about her marriage, and
Got it.
someone somewhere, because here's the thing, I looked up the paparazzi and I looked up the photographer, and he's not some random dude that was just with his family at Disneyland that day. Like, Heather and Terry were at Disneyland, and this is a professional paparazzi. He's
Yeah.
not hanging out at Disney. He's not paying $200 to get into the park and hoping he may find a celebrity. Like, that's just not.
Okay, so he's not like. See, that's what I mean. I did kind of was like, well, maybe, and then I was kind of like,
Stu,
well, I don't
there's no
know. I go back and
paparazzi
forth.
at Disneyland. The paparazzi want to make money. They're not spending money to get into Disneyland so that they can capture a real housewife of Orange County. Like, it was so far-fetched.
What if like Heather didn't call them or Terry or anything like that? And what if like they're like a publicist
That's what I
was
mean.
like, hey, they might be at Disneyland.
That's exactly what I think happened.
Which is
And
fine.
that's where we fall into this land of technicalities where Heather
Got it.
Heather can say, "I never called a paparazzi. I don't even know how to tip off the paparazzi."
But I have a publicist that like works for me and she does great things, or he or she, and she gets me publicity or whatever. And however she does that, fine.
And you know what?
I mean, I don't mind that.
I think it's even to the point where maybe she's like, "Listen, I'm gonna be at Disneyland. I don't know if they like." She's like, "Ignorance is bliss," right? Let me stick my head in the sand, and if I don't ask questions, I don't know. Oh, hey, there happens to be a random paparazzi at Disneyland.
Sure.
Like, I think Heather is just like, technically, I don't know how to call the paparazzi.
Yeah,
she
didn't call them.
She's like,
yeah.
I don't think Heather personally contacted the paparazzi.
No.
So that's the Heather situation. Because also the photos that ended up getting published, I think by Page 6, were cutesy photos of Heather and Terry. Normally, a paparazzi that's trying to get a photo when there's divorce rumors going around, the last thing they want to do is get cutesy photos of you. They want to get photos of you fighting. They want to get photos of you not wearing your wedding ring. Like, they want the salacious photos, not the cutesy photos. Okay, that's the Heather side of it. Now, when it comes to Katie, I think obviously Katie saw the article. She sent it to her friend who happens to work in the paparazzi world, texted him and was like, "Was the paparazzi tipped off?" And he was like, "LOL, yes," because it was clearly a staged shoot, whether Heather was the one that organized it or someone on her team organized it or somebody that was trying to get Heather good press organized it. Whoever it was that organized it, it was organized. So I don't think Gina's friend was confirming that that specific photographer was contacted specifically by Heather Dubrow, which I think is kind of how Katie read it. But I think her friend was kind of like, yeah, these things there's no way a random paparazzi is going to be at Disneyland taking photos of Heather Dubrow.
that's fine. Do you think Heather should have come at like Gina like as hard as she did? Like, I feel like it's not Gina's fault either.
It's
I
not
think it's
Gina's
like
fault at all.
no, it's like and like I felt like kind of unfair for Gina on that because she was like, look, if you're not going to tell her, I'm going to tell her as a friend that you're saying this.
Yeah.
And so Katie went and told her. So it's like, by the way, there's fucking cameras there. We all see what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So like, it's going to have to play out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I just was kind of like, I was wondering about that.
No, I don't think it was Gina's fault at all. I think Katie's maybe pushing it a little too hard. And like, listen, if Heather said she never called the paparazzi, then Gina or Katie could just be like, okay, whatever.
Right.
I
Let's
believe
move
she
on.
did, but you know what? If she wants to lie, then let her lie, and I'm moving on from this. Like Katie doesn't need to keep pushing it.
We can't talk about it anymore. It's not like a strong enough storyline to last like 15 episodes. Salt Lake City, I actually still have not watched the trailer. I've watched a bit of it. It's going to be good, right? Do you like it so far?
Why didn't you watch the trailer?
I don't know. I got into it, and like the first like 30 seconds, and they're all screaming at each other in the house, and I see the letters, and but like, yeah, I have to watch it. But like, what's your POV on it?
It looks really good. I mean, I think
it looks really good.
I
Okay.
think the beginning of the trailer looked kind of dumb, but like the trailer itself was really good. There's a lot of really good drama. There's a lot of fighting. You see the new ladies, or at least the main new one, Bronwyn. She looks like she's really going to spice things up this season. I think it's going to be a really good season.
Another Bronwyn.
Another Bronwyn.
Jesus. I want to tell you, since it's since I went to London, I obviously ate everywhere, right? But one thing stuck out for me, and I am going to do an Instagram reel on this because I'm just going to show everybody like what I ate. But I went to dinner. Now I was at the Shard, which is like this beautiful, like kind of skyrise tower and stuff, and they have amazing views of London. So you're kind of paying extra for that, right? Like it is like a nice kind of whatever Chinese type restaurant or whatever. There was $60 fried rice on the menu. $60 for fried rice. I don't know. It was your regular fried rice in like a mound. There was like a fried egg on top of it, which fine. Some crispy onions to the right, sambal olik, which is like a chili paste, and some like prawn crackers, which is basically rice paper fried in oil. Like it would be less than 5 cents. And then 2 chicken thighs, crispy. That's it. It was 45 pounds, which is about $60. Yeah. I was like, Shane was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, we have to get it. It's 45 pounds. It's $60. We got to get it because it's probably like incredible. It just was like a base. I'm going to make it on one of my reels because it's just at the Shangri-La. That was the hotel. Yeah.
Why?
Crazy. I don't know. I I mean, yeah, the food was tasty, but it's like, do you know Chinese food kind of always tastes the same? It's tasty as fuck, but like, it just wasn't worth that. You know, it should have been like 25 pounds.
Interesting.
Crazy. Yeah. And then the last night we ate in Chinatown and we had like the most amazing meal. Like it was so, so tasty. And we're like, we should have just come here.
Now we know.
Yeah. Anything else? I'm just like, I know you're in a rush to get out of here. You need to do one of your 9 shows. Tell us where you're off to now.
I have to go tape the pop report right now. I think, what are we talking about? We're talking about, oh my God, the Matthew Perry stuff. Like,
oh yes,
I'm fascinated by all of it. The last 24 hours have been me like fully submerging myself in the Girardi criminal trial and then the Matthew Perry stuff. The Girardi stuff is pretty crazy. I think he's making this prediction now. I think we'll probably get a guilty conviction this week for sure.
I thought he was guilty. I thought he was in jail already.
No, his trial. He's facing his trial, so he's been awaiting.
Okay.
You know what the jury is going to decide, and so the prosecution just rested. So now the defense is now coming up, and it's not looking good for him at all.
No, I think it's pretty obvious like what's going to happen. You know, I
think he's going to prison.
Maybe
to
live out his days,
unless in the end we find out the glove doesn't fit. But I think he's going to prison.
Nice one. I like that one. Really quickly, and I have it on here too. So Sutton's store closed, or it is closing, or I think she's relocating. Right?
No, she's moving online. She's only doing online orders from here on out. She's not going to have her storefront anymore.
I really want one of those t-shirts. Doesn't she have these like amazing like white t-shirts or something like
It
that?
says "Let the
I really
mouse
want.
go."
Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Oh no, we're not getting that. I thought it was just like these plain like white t-shirts that were great quality and they were like $40 or something
Yeah,
like
they're
that.
$45. I don't need a $45 white t-shirt. I'm good.
I need like something nice and chic. Well, after I had the amount of money I dropped in London, I swear I don't need to be spending any more money. I can tell you that. It's beans and toast for me for the next 3 weeks. Honestly. Zack, thank you so much for coming. Go find Zack on Instagram at
Just Plain Zack or No Filter with Zack. No Filter with Zack is the podcast account. Just Plain Zack's my personal account. I have No Filter with Zack Peter every morning, streaming on YouTube and available on all podcast platforms. And the Pop Report drops Wednesdays and Fridays on all podcast platforms.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. And we'll see you all next week. Bye.